Can I ask you something?
What?
The call of nature. In short, what does the urge to poo feel like? For example,
I thought it was about stupid Kakashi! Why are you guys so obsessed with poop and stuff?
Today, I want to ask you if some of these iconic and memorable characters from Naruto are victims or villains.
Am I dead? Where am I?
Between this life and the next, my young Uchiha.
It's not unusual to find ourselves looking at someone who may have taken a slightly different path in life as we wonder, could that have been me if I'd have went left instead of right that time?
Don't tell me you're actually Death himself. You know, the guy who escorts people to heaven or to hell. No! I don't want to die yet! Somebody help! I just saw a sign. I knew it! I was right. You're Death for sure, the Grim Reaper for the Uchiha clan! Oh wait! I lived my life by the creed of helping elderly people in need. Sure, I caused a lot of mischief and broke rules all the time, but I'm certain the balance on the scale tips on the positive side. Please, not hell!
Even though we empathise with some stories, we sometimes take for granted the role our perception plays when looking at someone else's life. It's easy to assume that we have the whole story a lot of the time by learning small bits of information, then forming an opinion by filling in characteristics of people we already know and prefabricated scenarios.
I'll make you pay me back in full for the last time we fought.
The last time we fought?
What? Don't tell me you don't remember.
Just who are you? And what have I done to earn your wrath?
Why you? Don't treat me like a fool.
Our minds are excellent at this perception game. In fact, our minds fill in and remove information all the time. The fact that your eyes always see your nose but your mind blanks it out should tell you everything you need to know about how we as humans see the world.
Alright, fine. Go ahead, prove that you guys are at a higher level than I am.
We're full artificial humans. We have feelings and everything. You may have a better sense of humor, but what we have is much better. Both our vocabulary skills and mental acuity are far higher than yours, but we still don't poo.
Shut up!
A fork in the road. It often goes unnoticed just how many binary choices and canonical events happen in our lives, even as often as daily. We overlook the ripple effects of small actions and over-exaggerate the domino effect of bigger ones by both us and others. The cause of a large part of these characters' problems aren't necessarily due to their actions, it's a combination of factors that are always at play, including the time, place, influence and actions of the people around them. There is an overtly optimistic and radical acceptance saying that goes, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Although this sounds great in the middle of the night when you get that sudden surge of inspiration to change your life, it's a much different story when morning comes and you realise you have very little control over the chaos of life and even less control over your own actions than you thought.
I'm going home.
Do not bother. There are no exits from here. And in any event, neither you nor I are able to leave this place right now. Not with these bodies, at least.
Now, I'm not giving you an excuse to not get up, dust yourself off and try again. No, I'm just attempting to adjust the huge contrast and saturation on your overly black and white outlook on life. Sort of like when the Wizard of Oz went colour.
We don't even need to poo!
Admittedly, I do have a strong propensity to side with the underdog characters like Naruto, Rock Lee and Mashle, and even sometimes empathise with the hidden humanity in my favourite villains and heroes from Darth Vader to Sasuke and Vegeta. The reason for this is because with perception added, I'm able to accept my own ignorance to the depth of a character's story and look for the redeemable qualities hiding beneath the external veneer of villainy for villainy sake.
Obito, you take those two down.
Obito, what happened to you? Why'd you join him?
By taking the time to look at the whole story while trying to understand the nuances of its emotional intricacy, you start to become a better person in the process as you're now aware of what was conveniently left out from the quote-unquote good guy's perspective.
So where did you find me?
Inside of an underground passageway that I had created, collapsed next to some crumbled rock. Still, half your body had been mostly crushed. I patched you up as best I could, but...
Are you saying that you saved me, Gramps? Well, thank you.
It's too early to thank me just yet. And besides, I still intend to have you repay your debt to me. After all, helping the elderly is your motto, isn't it?
With a bird's eye revelation of the whole story unfolding through a piece of content, you slowly start to become aware of the binary black and white choices as well as the nuanced situational responses. This accumulation of perspective closes the door to irrational speculation, making you less quick to pass moral judgments from the first appearance of a character.
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Obito. No, not like this.
No!
The reason for this is you now metaphorically recognise your own nose protruding from your face, and by contrast you see what a difference the omittance of a detail makes to someone's quote-unquote destiny, even if the details are inconvenient to the way you imagine the story to be.
The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility. Listen, everywhere you look in this world, wherever there is light, there will always be shadows to be found as well. There are nexuses, causal relationships that cannot be separated. Normally, that is.
A lot of the time, the quote-unquote bad guys are just trying to change the world to suit their ideals, while the quote-unquote good guys are just trying to maintain the current status quo as it benefits theirs.
Any person who's sensible would choose a shortcut with a fixed outcome. That's right. The goal a Hokage should seek is to create world peace.
You don't know what you're talking about. What I want to know isn't the shortcut or the easy path, but how to navigate the rugged one.
Would you still say that even if both of those paths led to the same place?
There's a saying that goes, what is good is what's good for me, and that statement is thoroughly prevalent in the writing of the 720 episodes of Naruto. With the added weight of emotional bonds and origin stories, the writers do a great job of slowly revealing the full picture from each side's perspective, and the more they juxtaposition the opposing side's points of views, you really start to ask yourself at the end, was the Hidden Leaf really a good place with good people? Look at how they treated Naruto. Look at what Danzo was doing in the Foundation. Look at the poor governance by the Kage. Look at the Senju and Uchiha beef. At the end of the day, nobody is really a quote-unquote good guy. They are just in the pursuit of their own self-interest while occasionally displaying admonishable and redeemable characteristics.
Even as we seek peace, we seek war at the same time. And this reality compels infinite suffering via the power known as chakra. Power only leads to a desire for conflict, and the lack of power leads to losing everything. But I shall create a new world that will overcome that. The infinite Tsukuyomi will produce a dream world without any abominable chakra.
Wrap it up, people! The sun's coming up! Hold up! Did you all forget about my grand master plan? The sun will no longer be an issue once I initiate the third and final step.
Is step 3 really all that?
Shit, it ain't no step for a stepper.
Let's start with Obito. Obito's story begins almost the same as Naruto's, with the exception of Uchiha blood instead of a tail beast. He's kind, bold, friendly, and always putting the needs of others ahead of his own. We see he's very emotional, particularly about his comrades in battle, and is even dubbed the Crybaby Ninja. The world he's born into is already at war, just like every other generation before Naruto's. Although he goes mostly unacknowledged, Obito is madly in love with his teammate Rin, and this is the root to his story turning out the way that it did. In the episode when Orochimaru and Sasuke revived the Hokage, Hashirama explains that the Uchiha experience emotions on an almost supernatural level, hence the awakening of Sharingans requires a deep emotional event to take place.
A world of only victors, a world of only peace, a world of only love. I will create such a world.
Green, once again, let's create a world where you can exist again.
He goes on to say that the Uchiha experience love so intensely that when it's removed, hate fills that space tenfold, which is how the eyes continue to evolve in power. This loss of love and loved ones is at the root of almost all the Uchiha clan's prominent members' stories, from Madara and Obito to Sasuke and Itachi. While on a mission with Kakashi and Rin, the squad is ambushed and Rin gets kidnapped. Kakashi and Obito argue over the mission objective, but ultimately end up going to save Rin. After saving Rin together, they are attacked again, but this time Obito saves Kakashi from a crumbling boulder in a cave. Obito ends up being half crushed in the process and offers Kakashi his eye as a parting gift. Kakashi reluctantly takes the eye and promises to look after Rin. Sad, right? Obito once again putting the needs of others ahead of his own. And that is where the story technically ended for Obito for hundreds of episodes, but eventually we find out Obito acts as Tobi and Madara in the Akatsuki. The show later reveals Obito survived and why he tries to do what he does in the end of the show. An old Madara discovers Obito half crushed in one of his secret tunnels and has Zetsu recover him. Madara goes on to heal Obito with Hashirama cells and then begins to indoctrinate him with his own bitter perspective on the state of the world and politics. Madara tells him his plan is to turn the world into a dreamland using genjutsu, which Obito initially declines to take part in. Obito begins his recovery journey trapped with Madara as the outside world continues to live on thinking him dead. Eventually, Zetsu helps him escape to save Rin. When Obito arrives, he sees Kakashi kill Rin to keep her from being kidnapped and experimented on under the village's orders. Losing his friend and love that night, Obito goes mad and kills all the ninja, then returns to Madara angry, wanting to change the world with this genjutsu plan.
I want you to teach me how to create this world of dreams, Madara.
I don't need your thanks now. Just come over here.
For most of the episodes, we are led to believe that Madara and Obito are just evil dudes trying to steal the Nine Tails to control the world. But of course, I can't explain the intricacies of 720 20-minute episodes in this short video.
Who could still be awake at this time of night?
To slip in the last piece and... Jerome, let's get this party started.
Those who truly lead others would never step over their comrades' corpses, even if their own ends up being stepped upon.
Well then, in order for you to confirm that it's true, you're going to have to become a corpse.
I won't let you step on me anymore.
Shit, it ain't no step for a stepper.
Obito and Madara ironically unify the Shinobi world by declaring war as the enemy of each land. They inadvertently become the catalyst for the allied Shinobi forces and the reason the warring states come together after generations of feuds. But the problem is, although Obito and Madara killed lots of people, just like the other ninjas and the Hokages included, they weren't actually planning to do anything evil. Their plan was just another version of ideological dictatorship, no different to the Kages, but through Tsukuyomi they would put everyone in their own ideal existence, mentally. Put simply, Madara was going to put everyone in a matrix, and through the matrix Obito could finally bring his beloved Rin back, so he helped to bring this plan into fruition.
What's going on?
How can you say that you, unlike Obito, are able to completely take advantage of others? Isn't it presumptuous to think that you alone are different? My dear Madara, you have also been caught inside a phantom dream. A dream that I concocted.
Inside a dream? What are you talking about, Black Zetsu? I was the one who created you in the first place. You are nothing more than my will made incarnate.
Wrong again.
Now of course this was not a good plan per se, but it wasn't an overtly evil one either. Again, with perspective given, Madara was also a victim of the times, having his family killed in the war and then being politically ostracized from his own clan. He tried to change things, just like his once friend Hashirama, but his brother died in the process, and the hate began to fill that void of love.
I could not protect my brothers, and it seems I won't be able to keep my oath to protect my clan. I'm not even trusted by the brethren I want to protect.
No, that's not true. Everyone will trust.
Perhaps I should have only given you the option of killing your brother that day. You call me your brother, but which of us would you sacrifice for the sake of the village? I'd like to think that I know you pretty well. I've had enough. I'm leaving the village. I found a different path, a different way.
The hate that made him become so powerful didn't just come from nowhere, it was the combined parameters of the world he existed in. So I ask you, is Obito a victim or a villain? Is Madara a victim or a villain?
That weird guy's still blocking our way.
He's using what style? Who is he?
I told you I wouldn't let you get beyond this point easily. Plus, is there seriously no one out there who can give me an answer to my question? I asked you, what does it feel like to poop?
Thank you for making it to the end of the video. QR code on the screen, feel free to donate, and don't forget you can click here to check out our latest videos. Until next time, let's hunt.